Hello guys, today we will take number system basics topic and learn how to calculate squares of numbers from 1 to 125. Yes, this is a very big range, but then we are good to learn this methodology if we know squares till 25. So let us first revise the squares till 25 quickly so that we become comfortable in using that method with which we can calculate the squares of larger numbers. 1 square 1, 2 square 4, 3 square is 9, 4 square 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, 121, 144, 169. This is 13 square, 14 square will be 196, 15 square will be 225, 16 square will be 256, 17 square will be 289, 18 square will be 324, 19 square will be 361, 20 square is 400, 441 is the square of 21, 484 is square of 22, 529 square of 23, and 24 square will be 576, 25 square will be 625, 26 square will be 676, and so on. Now that we know squares till 25 or 26, we can take bigger numbers and see how we can calculate squares quickly. Okay, that is the target. So any bigger number for which you want to find out the square, you can divide it into one of these two categories. First category is numbers which are close to 50 and numbers which are close to 100. Let us take the second category first. Let us take a number which is close to 100, say 98. We have to find out what is the value of 98 square. So we have to ask ourselves, how much is 98 less than 100? You know that 98 is 2 less than 100, so you minus 2 from 98. You minus 2 from 98. 96 you get. 96 will be the first two digits. We have to determine the last two digits, and the last two digits will be nothing but square of whatever was the deficit. If you can call this amount as deficit, this amount is deficit from 100, right? 2 square 4, you have to find out the last two digits, so the value will be 04, 9604. So again 98 is 2 less than 100, you minus 2 from 98, you get 96, and the last two digits will be square of 2, which is 4. You have to find out the two digits. Since you had 4, you added one 0 here to make it a two digit expression. So you have 9604 as the square of 98 square and square of 98. Now if you take another example, say 96 square, calculate in the mind. 96 is 4 less than 100, you minus 4 from 96, you will get 92 as the first two digits, and the last two digits will be square of 4, which is 16. Similarly, if you have to find out what is 88 square, you will calculate in mind that 88 is how much less than 100? 12 less than 100, right? So you minus 12 from it and you will get 76. If you minus 12 from 88, you will get 76. These are the first two digits. How about the last two digits? To calculate the last two digits, as we already discussed, we have to find out what is the square of 12. Square of 12 gives you 144. There are three digits, so you take the last two digits as 44 and 1 you take it as a carry on top of 76. So that will make the expression as 7744, which is nothing but the square of 88. I hope you understood the method. So you can take another example to make it more clear. Take the example 86. 86 is 14 less than 100. 86 is 14 less than 100. You minus 14 from it, you will get 72 as the first two digit, and 14 square is nothing but 196. So last two digits will be 96 and 1, the carry, will be on top of 72, which will make it 7396. 7396 is the square of 86. I hope you understood how to calculate numbers which are less than 100 and the square of it. Now let us look at the numbers which are more than 100 and we have to find out the square of those numbers. Let us take a number, say 109. 109 is 9 more than 100, right? So you have to add 9 here. In the previous case, we saw when numbers are less than 100, we asked a question that goes like this: how much is this number less than 100? Similar question we are asking here also. Here the case is bit different, but the question remains same. 109 is more than 100 and we are asking how much is 109 more than 100. So 9 more, so you add 9 to this 109, you get 118 as the first three numbers, right? And for the last two numbers, since we were talking about the square of the deficit in the earlier case, here this is an increment, so we are talking about the square of this increment. Square of 9 is 81, so last two digits will be 81. 109 square is nothing but 11881. Let's take another example. 105. If it is 105, 105 is 5 more than 100. You add 5 to it, you get 110. 110 and the last two digits will be square of 5, which is 25. So 11025 is the square of 105. Let us take a bigger number, say 113. If you take a number 113, you can get the first few numbers. How? 113 is 13 more than 100. You add 13 to it, you get 126. The last two digits will be the square of 13. 13 square is 169. So you place 69 here and 1 is carried over 126, which will make it 12769. 12769 is the square of 113. Hope you understood the method of calculating numbers which are more than 100 and the square of it. Now let us see the second category, where we talk about the square of a number that is close to 50. Consider a number, say 57. 57 is closer to 50. So the first step would be to minus 25 from that number. 57 minus 25, you can directly calculate in the mind as 32. So 32 would be the first two digits of the square of 57. How about the last two digits? Last two digits will be determined by the square of the deficit or increment from 57. So you have to ask a question. 57 is how much far than 50? So it is 7 units far, right? 57 minus 50 is 7, and square of that will be 49. So last two digits will be 49. Again, the first two digits will be determined by the deduction of 25 from the original number, which is 57 here. You get 32 as the first two digits. The last two digits will be determined by the square of the increment or deficit from 50. If it is more than 50, then 7 is the increment here as an example. If it is less than that, if it is less than 50, say 47, then the decrement then the deficit is 3 and square of that will be 0.9. Here the increment is 7, square of that is 49, last two digits is 49. 3 to 49 is the square of 57. Let us take another example, say 60, or 60 is easier, so let us take 63. 63 minus 25, if you have to do, you can minus it like this. 38 is the answer. So first two digits will be 38. And how much is 63 more than 50? It is 13 more. It is 13 more than 50. So 13 square is 169. Last two digits will be 69 and 1 is carried over to 38. That will make it 3969. Okay, so 3969 is the square of 63. Here the calculation is bit tougher because you'll have to carry here 1. Okay, calculation also became bit tough when you minus 25 from 63. 57 minus 25 was easier in the first case because it did not involve any carry. But 63 minus 25, if you have to do, you calculate in mind like this: 63 minus 23 minus 2. This will help you calculate faster because 63 minus 23 will give you 40, and if you have to minus 2 from that, you will get 38. 25 you are minusing in 2 steps of 23 and 2 here. I hope you understood the logic. Let's take another example. We took two numbers which were bigger than 50. Let us take a number which is lesser than 50, say 42. 42, if you have to find the square of that, you minus 25 from it. So you minus 22 and then 3 in 2 steps. If you minus 22, you get 20, and then you minus 3 more, you get 17. So 17 are the first two digits. And how about the last two digits? Those will be square of 8. Why 8? Because 42 is 8 units away from 50. 50 minus 42 is 8. 8 square is 64. 64. So the last two digits will be 64. And the entire number will be 1764, which is the square of 42. Now you know the two rules clearly. Given a number, you have to first think about the question whether it is closer to 50 or it is closer to 100. If it is closer to 100, you know the rule of checking how far is it from 100 and decide accordingly. And 50, for 50, to calculate the squares, you have to first minus 25 from it, and then for the last two digits, you will have to take the square of that number which is deficit or more than 50. Okay, in the next session we can tell you how those two rules are working for the numbers which are closer to 50 and the numbers which are closer to 100. Those rules, if you see, those rules are mere identities, and we will threadbare why those methodologies are working good. So goodbye for now. Thank you.